Have you ever looked up at the stars and just wondered, why? Not just what's up there, but why is everything arranged just so? Well, today, we're jumping headfirst into one of the biggest, most mind-blowing questions you can ask. Why does our universe seem, well, perfect for us? And look, this isn't just some late-night philosophical musing. This is a real, hard scientific question. Because the more we dig into the physics of the cosmos, the more it looks like the whole thing is balanced on a razor's edge. An impossibly perfect balance that makes everything, stars, planets, and yeah, even us, possible. So there's actually a name for this. Scientists call it cosmic fine-tuning, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The fundamental numbers that run the whole show, the strength of gravity, the initial conditions of the Big Bang, they're all dialed into these incredibly precise values. And if you were to just nudge one of those dials, even a tiny, tiny bit, poof, the universe as we know it would be a totally empty, lifeless void. So, just how precise are we talking about? Well, let's put on our detective hats for a minute. We're going to investigate 3 massive cosmic clues that really show what an incredible balancing act we're dealing with here.
Okay, clue number 1, the cosmological constant. Now, that sounds complicated, but you can basically think of it as the universe's anti-gravity. It's this energy that's just baked into the fabric of empty space itself, and it's what's pushing everything apart, making the universe expand faster and faster.
The thing is, the precision needed for this constant is just mind-shattering. Our best theories predict this number should be huge, but what we actually see is a value so tiny, the odds of it just happening by chance are 1 in 10 to the power of 120. That is a 1 with 120 zeros after it. It's a number so big it's just hard to even comprehend.
To try and get your head around that, imagine this. You're standing at one edge of the entire known universe. You fire a single bullet across 20 billion light-years of space, and you hit a target that's just 1 inch wide. That is the kind of impossible accuracy we are talking about. It's just, wow. So what this really means is there is zero room for error. As you can see, if that constant were just a little bit stronger, the universe would have expanded so violently that stars and galaxies could never have even gotten started. And if it were a little weaker, the whole universe would have just collapsed back in on itself in a big crunch right after it began. No chance for life either.
All right, on to our second clue. This one isn't about a constant. It's about the universe's starting line. You've probably heard that things tend to get more chaotic and disordered over time, right? Scientists call that increasing entropy. So for us to have all this amazing structure today, galaxies, stars, planets, it means the universe must have started in an unbelievably ordered state, a state of super low entropy.
And how unlikely was that particular starting point? Well, the physicist Roger Penrose actually did the math. The odds are 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123. Seriously. That number is so ridiculously huge, it makes that first number we talked about look like pocket change. I mean, just try to imagine that number. If you took every single atom in the entire observable universe and you tried to write 1 digit on each one of them, you wouldn't even scratch the surface of writing out that number. That's how impossibly special our universe's starting condition had to be. Okay, for our last clue, we're zooming way, way in from the whole cosmos down to the inside of an atom. We're talking about the strong nuclear force. This is the superglue that holds atomic nuclei together. Without it, everything would just be hydrogen. No other atoms, no chemistry, no you, no me. And guess what? Its strength is also ridiculously fine-tuned. Get this, if it were just 2% stronger, pretty much all the hydrogen from the Big Bang would have instantly cooked into helium, which means no water, ever. And if you change it by just 0.4% in either direction, stars wouldn't be able to make both carbon and oxygen, the absolute bedrock of life. So yeah, this force is balanced on a razor's edge, just to give us the chemistry we need to exist. So, let's pause. We've laid out the evidence, and it really does look like the universe is a setup job, right? So, in this cosmic whodunit, who are the main suspects? Well, it really boils down to 2 big ideas. On one hand, you've got theistic design. This idea says that some kind of intelligence intentionally set all those cosmic dials just right to allow for life. On the other hand, you have the multiverse. This theory suggests that our universe isn't the only one. It's just one bubble in a huge, maybe infinite, cosmic foam of other universes, and each one has totally random settings. In that case, of course we find ourselves in a universe that can support us, because where else would we be?
We just got lucky.
Okay, so how do we figure out which one makes more sense? We can't exactly run an experiment on another universe, but we can definitely test the logic behind each idea. So let's start by taking a closer look at the multiverse.
One of the biggest challenges to this idea is a really interesting logical problem. It's called the inverse gambler's fallacy.
Let me break it down for you. Picture this. You walk into a casino, and right in front of you, a guy rolls the dice for the very first time and gets 4 sixes. Super unlikely, right? Now, it would be weird to look at that and say, wow, that must mean there are hundreds of other people in this casino who aren't rolling 4 sixes. See the problem? The fact that other people might be losing doesn't actually explain why this one guy won, right here, right now. The multiverse, some argue, makes that same mistake. Just assuming there are tons of losing universes out there doesn't explain why our universe is such a massive winner.
Now, a multiverse supporter might come back with a pretty smart technical argument. They could say, hold on, if there are infinite possible values for these cosmic constants, then the mathematical probability of getting any one specific value is technically 0. So you can't even talk about it being unlikely. And you know, that's a clever point.
But the debate doesn't stop there. Philosophers like Robin Collins have pushed back. He argues that, our sense of what's rational doesn't always need strict math. We can just focus on the range of values we actually understand. And besides, even if the possibilities are infinite, the fact that we landed in this teeny tiny slice that allows for life, well, that still feels like something that needs an explanation, doesn't it? It just shows how deep these questions really go.
Okay, but just when you think this whole thing can't get any weirder, there's a final twist. Another layer to this puzzle that makes it even more fascinating.
Some thinkers have pointed out something really strange. It seems the universe isn't just fine-tuned for life to exist. It might also be fine-tuned for us to be able to discover it. Think about it. The same laws that make our atoms work also make the universe clean and orderly enough for us to do science and figure out those very laws. It's almost convenient. Now, the counter-argument, of course, is that if the universe wasn't understandable, we wouldn't be here to be confused by it, right? It's another one of those classic chicken and egg problems.
So let's just quickly sum up our whole cosmic investigation here. We started with the big mystery, a universe that's way too perfect. We looked at the clues, the insane precision of the cosmological constant, the universe's impossibly orderly beginning, and the knife-edge balance of the strong nuclear force. We brought in our 2 main suspects, an intelligent designer or a vast multiverse, and then we hit that final surprising twist. The universe doesn't just seem tuned for life, but also for discovery.
And all of that brings us right back to the biggest question of all. Are we the result of an unfathomably lucky cosmic accident? The product of a masterful design? Or is the real answer something we can't even imagine yet? Some new law of physics just waiting to be found? The evidence is on the table. But the final verdict? Well, that remains one of the greatest mysteries we've ever faced.